Before we get into the video, you guys, I am sick as a dog, so if I sound a little weird, that's why. But anyway, you guys, when it comes to Toxicity and Foxhole, I'm sure each of you have a story to share about a time another player decided to go schizo on you. Maybe you decided to build a bunker base and the local builder decided it was his job to demo it due to poor design. Or maybe you decided to bring up an expensive tank that you spent hours grinding, only to be yelled at by your teammates that it shouldn't be up here in the first place.
Yeah, it does. Marshall.
What is this guy?
He's a fool, man.
He's upset because we didn't operate optimally.
Recently, I've started to see more instances of unhealthy interactions throughout War 126. Toxicity in Foxhole is nothing new, but it's something a lot of new players may not be aware of. And unfortunately, it's this toxic side to Foxhole, one where certain game mechanics and player personalities ultimately produce an unhealthy experience. So in this video, I'm going to be sharing a couple recent examples of crazy crash outs and talk about the in-game mechanics that may be contributing to the recent uptick in toxicity. And to start us off, we have a common building-related crash out. If you're a frontline builder, you've probably run into this type of player before. They decide they're going to build defenses around a large portion of the hex, hopefully with a group, but sometimes as a solo. You end up going to that same hex and you find a spot that hasn't been built up, and you decide to build a bunker base, along with some defenses to secure the land. Oh, but just wait, because Bob the Builder just got wind of what you're doing, and he decides to go full UK on you and ask if you got a license to be building in that clearly open part of the hex. What results is a temper tantrum from Builderman, who demands you let him build there too, or else you're griefing the faction and he'll end up getting his regiment to demo your base. The Gremlins and I had a similar situation happen at East Narthex in Calastra. After pushing the Wardens out of East Narthex, we decided to build on top of the hill overlooking the town and start working on an underground bunker. We built AT garrisons and machine gun garrisons overlooking the North Road and howitzers spread out along the hilltop. Unfortunately, we apparently didn't have the right license or permission to be building on that hilltop, and I got a DM saying that one heavily disgruntled OCDT would be enlisting his coalition to demo our base. Mind you, this base had already been partially upgraded to concrete, so after hearing this, I decided to speak with our neighbor to see if we could come to some sort of understanding. I'm gonna go talk to him real quick. Hey bro, look, I don't know if we came off the wrong foot or something. I don't know if you're just pissed at us because we decided to build up on the hilltop there. Let's just leave it as it is. I don't give a shit about your base. Don't give a shit about ours. Let's leave everything separate. Don't connect things to our base. We won't connect things to your base. But yeah, if we could just keep it cordial and calm. And not try to get sigil drama involved in this, because there will be defenses. You don't have to worry your head about it. Everything's fine. I hope your base stands the test of time.
I'm sorry I've been AFK.
I'm sorry I've been AFK'd. Oh, you're fine, dude. You're fine. I just wanted to say, hey, man, I saw the signs. I saw the sigil posts. I saw all the drama and whatnot. I don't know if we got off at the wrong foot. I don't know if something was said or something was done. I'm just restarting from what I said before. But anyway, you know, I don't want any ill will with you guys. We're neighbors. Let's just chill out for a second, take a breath. Yeah, we're making a base up there. We already have the spot down. We already have the concrete down. The defenses are being built as we speak. The reason why they haven't been built, which I thought it was pretty clear, but we were settling concrete in the back line. We also got off.
There's no defense
late.
at all.
Yeah, there's no defenses at all right now. We got off kind of late. We all have lives. We like to sleep. It's something that we do. And we were going to make defenses in the morning because, you know, this area is not getting pushed by wardens. So right now we're on. And we actually got on because you decided to go in sigil and try to instigate some mass demo for no reason. I'm just going to say this. Let's just forget about that. Let's start with a clean slate. Let us do our thing. You do your thing. Don't take from us. We won't take from you. Don't connect shit to our stuff. We won't connect shit to your stuff. And everyone's going to be happy and we all get to play the game. Let's just calm down and play the game. All right. We don't give a fuck about your base. Don't give a fuck about ours. Everything's fine. And we can live in peace. All right? Is that fair?
No.
It's not fair. Okay. Well, that's all I can really say. If you're not happy with that, I'm sorry. But again, don't try to instigate this, please. I'm begging you, bro. I think you're solo building this entire base. I think you need a break, dude. I think you're burning out. And I mean this genuinely. I'm not trying to be like a dick or snarky about it. I mean, seriously, like, I think you need to just step away for a little bit and, like, you know, reset.
I already call AES as a whole for helping demo those abomination of a base.
Okay. Well, that's cool, dude. I don't want this to really blow into something bigger than it needs to be.
Yeah, it doesn't spiral out of control.
Yeah, that's not really a threat either, dude. I really don't think it's a threat like you think it is. But hey, take it easy and best of luck to you. So in the end, East Narthex came under attack, and our neighbor decided to spend more of his time arguing with us and trying to get his friends to demo our base instead of upgrading his to concrete. This resulted in the base being obliterated by Warden artillery. Fort Gremskull, on the other hand, our base, held out until we ran out of ammo and shirts, marking an end to this, frankly, dumbass feud. About a week ago, though, one of the gremlins noticed the same guy returning to East Narthex and built the place up again. So I'll give him some credit on his persistence. That boy just really wants to dig bases in the Clastro. This last example, which is becoming increasingly common, is the problem of lane ownership mixed with the increased length of wars. As wars continue to become longer and longer, players find themselves dedicating even more time to building defenses, losing those defenses, rebuilding those defenses, and constantly supplying their lane with Logi. With this increased time and dedication spent on their particular lane or hex, players become deeply invested in the survival of key towns and bases. Unfortunately, when the course of battle doesn't go their way, this leads to explosive reactions from those players towards their own teammates. After Osterwald fell for like the third time in a row, we saw one particular player crash out on the entire hex by the name of Pat. Pat, unfortunately, had been, I guess, dedicating his entire week to supplying and building defenses for the town. Never mind the fact that, again, this was like the second or third time Osterwald had fallen, but in response to losing, he decided to crash out on the entire colonial faction in the hex, calling them worthless. They're not doing enough. They don't dedicate as much time as him. The same usual spiel you would hear. One particular player ended up, if I remember correctly, was just calling him out saying, "Hey bro, you should probably take a break." Great advice, by the way. To which he responds with, "You aren't spending enough time in this game. You have no right to say that I should be doing anything." Which is, again, just a crazy thing to say, you guys. It's not the flex you think it is. If you say, I dedicate 40 hours a week into this game, it's like my second job. Therefore, I have a right to tell everyone else what to do. You don't have a right to tell me what to do. That's, I guess, part of the toxicity, I'd say, of the game. Just because you spend more time in the game doesn't necessarily mean you are right about something. It just shows you're fucking unhinged and that you need to go outside. But all of this serves as an example of what the main issue and the whole point of this video is, which is the game mechanics that directly contribute to this problem. And I think there are three main game mechanics that directly contribute to this problem or get abused to exacerbate this problem. The first is public stockpile pull times. You know, again, going back to this issue of building or maintaining a lane. Unfortunately, because of the public logistics system in Foxhole, where pull times are greatly increased the more things you pull out, this leads to players not getting as much logi as they could. We also end up having the issue of a bunch of crates and logistics collecting dust in the backline instead of being used on the front. And I think the easiest solution to this would be to increase those pull times based off of rank. Maybe there's a cutoff rank where that's the fastest you're ever going to, reach when it comes to pull times. Maybe that would be Lieutenant Colonel or Major. But I'd be interested to see if the devs can implement that kind of system. I get the reason why. And for those of you that don't know why the pull times take so long for public logistics, it's meant to deter alters and people who are trying to grief by taking logistics and basically tossing it into the sea. And I think that makes sense, again, for lower ranks, like, if you're a private or corporal or sergeant, whatever, that your pull times should take longer just to avoid a situation where you could easily grief the enemy faction. I think when you dedicate, so many hours, you have so many commends, you've proven that you're not a griefer, then you should have much quicker pull times. And that way you also do encourage those logistical players who are spending the time pulling logistics, bringing it to the front line. They're the ones that end up getting those higher ranks. Therefore, they're able to actually do public logi more often and quicker. The next game mechanic is not really, I wouldn't even really call it a game mechanic, but the length of wars itself, I think, is becoming more of a problem, and it's leading to burnout and frustration. And while nukes are a great mechanic to eventually whittle down VPs until one side wins, it still leads to wars like War 126 that are almost 70 days long. And the specific game mechanic I guess I want to focus on here is while wars have increased in length, the tech tree itself hasn't seen much change. And this is the point of focus I think the devs need to spend a little bit more time on, whether it's adding more content to increase the length of the tree, maybe changing when certain pieces of equipment text just to increase the length of it. The problem I don't want the devs to run into here or to implement is basically it takes longer for us to tech stuff that we already tech at the current rate. You know what I mean? Like, I want them to add things to the tree. I don't want them to basically make it more of a grind for us to get that tech, if that makes sense. You know, like, it shouldn't take 60 days to tech a BT. I think that would be fucking crazy, and I think that just leads to more burnout. I think if you're adding more things to the tree, I think there's a lot of enhancement that can be made there. And again, I don't know when the last time the tech tree was ever taken a look at, maybe revamped to match the current length of wars. I think by reevaluating the tech tree, it gives folks an opportunity to work towards something in the later parts of the war instead of basically getting done with everything 40, 50 days into the war and then just not really caring about building towards anything. At that point, really, right, it's just nukes, but maybe it could be helpful to have something else to work towards, especially when wars are becoming longer and longer. And the last feature or mechanic in the game that for the longest time has always had an issue, it's the mass report abuse, you guys. I think in a game where numbers win, right? Regiments who are larger tend to have this idea of, I'm just going to bully other regiments or players because we have the numbers, we can do whatever we want, you know, whether it's somebody who's trying to manage a field or, again, building in a specific part of the map. You will have regiments that, for whatever reason, just don't care about being civil, and they'd rather just mass report those individuals or those regiments. And I think that this is something that's, again, it's the easier road. You know, it's harder to come to consensus with players. It's easier to just fucking put in a ticket, mass report, and, you know, that person's gone for 2 weeks or, you know, however long. I think there needs to be some more, you know, vetting when it comes to reporting from the dev side. And I understand that they have a team that does look at those tickets. But unfortunately, I think because we're seeing more instances of mass report abuse occurring, it has an effect of demoralizing those regiments that get affected by it, and honestly turns off players from wanting to come back to the game. And my hope is that, you know, we have a more active moderation team that's actually able to go in and, you know, get the facts about what's going on and more justly enforce those bans, especially when they're warranted. And then especially if, you know, there's abuse going on with those mass reports, I think folks that do that need to see some punishment as well. So those are 3 of the mechanics and features within Foxhole that I think contribute to this unhealthy side of Foxhole. But I think I'll end the video with this question. What do you guys think contributes to the unhealthy mindset in Foxhole? Are there certain mechanics in the game that cause it? Or are there just some people who play Foxhole who are a little fucked in the head? Let me know your take down in the comment section below. But thank you guys so much for watching. Again, sorry my voice is fucked up. But anyway, I hope you enjoyed the video. If you did, please consider leaving a like and subscribe to see more Foxhole related content. Take care, and I'll see you all in the next one.
And I'm so sorry. I cannot sleep. I cannot dream tonight.
Where are we going,
I
boys?
need somebody and always. This 6th straight darkness comes creeping on, so haunting every time. And as I swear I counted, webs from all the spiders. All right, I'm done.